Why did my dad's no closing doors rule get him arrested? We had the weirdest rule in probably the entire state. No closed doors while changing clothes. Ever. Not my bedroom door, not the bathroom, not even the closet. Teenagers hide tattoos all over their body if we let them, Dad would say. Or they could be hiding pills in their pockets. My friends were horrified when they heard about it. Mickey came over once and watched me change from school clothes to normal ones right in the middle of our living room while Dad sat there with his newspaper, glancing up every few seconds. That's so creepy, she whispered, and I wanted to disappear. My older brother had already escaped to college, partly because of rules like this. I counted days until I could leave too. Mom tried to help without directly challenging Dad. She couldn't change his mind about the rule, but she found ways around it. The shower has frosted glass, she mentioned one day while folding towels. You're only visible as a shadow. She also helped me rearrange my room, putting my full-length mirror at an angle where it looked like you could see everything from the doorway, but there was actually a blind spot perfect for 30-second wardrobe changes. I got really good at it too. I kept spare clothes in the bathroom and changed when Dad was busy watching TV. Mom would create distractions, calling Dad to fix something right when I needed to change for school. For weeks, this worked perfectly. Dad thought he was enforcing his rule since doors stayed open. He even bragged to his coworkers about how his visibility system kept me safe. But then one weekend, everything exploded in ways I never imagined. Dad's colleague Rob came by to drop off work files. Dad was on a video call in his office. Mom was grocery shopping, and I'd just gotten home from track with my entire body sweating. I couldn't wait for Dad's call to end, so I ducked behind my mirror blind spot like always. But Rob didn't know our house layout. He was looking for Dad's office and saw what looked completely wrong from his angle. A teenage girl hiding behind furniture to undress. He looked away immediately but asked me a question that sounded oddly serious. Where's your father? I pointed to Dad's office and he took off. Through the door I heard him say, Jim, your daughter was hiding behind furniture to change clothes. Combined with these visibility rules you mentioned, Dad came out confused at first. She knows the rules about doors. Rob shook his head. Jim, she was hiding behind furniture to change. That is not okay. You're making her feel unsafe. The way he said it made Dad's face go pale from realization. By the next morning, everything was chaos. Rob, being a mandated reporter, had called CPS overnight. 2 social workers showed up before breakfast, asking to speak with me privately. They separated us into different rooms, Dad in the kitchen, me in the living room, Mom in the bedroom. Can you explain the rules about changing clothes in your house? The woman asked gently. I'm just not allowed to close doors, I said, not even while changing clothes. She wrote something down. So you felt the need to hide behind furniture because your dad doesn't give you privacy? I tried explaining the mirror trick, but it sounded worse out loud. So you developed evasion strategies to change clothes? She kept on writing in her notepad. Then they brought Dad in. Sir, can you explain why your daughter cannot have privacy while changing? Dad's voice shook. It's just not closing doors. For her safety. Kids hide all kinds of stuff. It's her body, the woman finished. And you think watching her prevents her from, what? Being a delinquent? Dad nodded frantically. You require visual confirmation of your 16-year-old daughter changing clothing items? The more Dad explained, the crazier he sounded. She could be self-harming. They asked about other rules. Were there cameras? Did I have privacy in the bathroom? Could I close my door at night? Each question made Dad sound worse, even though he kept insisting it was just about doors. They photographed my room, the mirror setup, and the shower. They even called my school, confirming I was a good student with no substance history. This is insane, Dad kept saying. Ask anyone. They'll tell you that I'm a good father. But Rob had already told them about Dad bragging at work about his visibility system. The social workers said they'd need to investigate further. Dad might need supervised visits only. Mom started crying. Please, it's just a silly rule about doors, she kept saying, but even she heard how insane it sounded now. The investigation took 3 weeks. Dad had to attend mandatory parenting classes about appropriate boundaries for adolescents. The final report said no abuse, just severely inappropriate privacy boundaries requiring intervention. The shoe rule died instantly, along with every other surveillance rule Dad had. Rob apologized but said what he saw looked wrong because it was wrong.